welcome and welcome to our new commissioners. We will take roll call. Commissioner Pan.
Here.
Commissioner Chochi.
Yes.
Commissioner Zhao.
Here.
Commissioner Shu.
Here.
Commissioner Saktibal. Great. And so I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Molly James and I'm your liaison. I work in the Parks and Recreation Department. I'm a recreation manager and I oversee the Stevens Creek corridor. So the golf course, Blackberry Farm Park, and Stevens and McClellan Ranch Preserve, and then all the programming that happens out there. And I get the pleasure of being your liaison. And so because we currently don't have a chair who would typically run the meeting, and we're going to move into chair and vice chair selection first before we get into the approval of the minutes. We'll start with the chair selection, and then I will throw it to the chair who will continue to run the meeting, beginning with vice chair selection. Okay? So if we have any nominations for chair, we can start there.
I'd like to nominate Leanne to be the chair for the as a library commissioner because Leanne served the chair before and she contributed a lot to the library. Probably Brian can tell how many times she came to the library, talked to Brian, and identify issues, provide suggestions, recommendations, and she's very experienced, and so I like to recommend Leanne to be the chair. For that reason, I want to recommend Leanne to be the chair. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there any seconds?
I second it.
Great. We'll take a vote then. Are there any other nominations for the table? No? Okay. So we'll just take a quick vote. Commissioner Pan, who made the motion?
Aye.
Commissioner Chochi?
Aye.
Commissioner Zhao?
I can vote for myself.
Yes. You are accepting the nomination.
Okay, accept the nomination.
I accept
Okay.
the nomination.
Oh, I accept the nomination. Okay.
Commissioner Shu?
Yes.
Commissioner Saktibal?
Aye.
Great. All right, our new chair is Leanne. Welcome back to the role. Here is your gavel. And I'm going to leave it to you to run the rest of the meeting.
Okay. So then the meeting will start now, right?
So now we're going to do the selection of vice chair.
Vice chair. Okay. So we need to have a vice chair. I would like to nominate Janki for the vice chair because she served on the committee for 2 years, 3 years. So, we will take turn in the future for the chair and the vice chair. So probably you can, run next time. Yeah, I would like to nominate Janki for the vice chair.
I like to work with Junkie, I really enjoy it. So the only worries me is Junkie going to jumping ship. Because like the other two, last time we have chair and the vice chair, both of them decided to apply to others, and the Junkie also applied to others.
But then
you didn't
no,
got elected. So that's why only reason you stay. So if next year you applied again, and we will. That's the only worries, okay?
No,
yeah,
if I'm vice chair, rest assured, I'll be there.
You will be here. Okay. That's my only concerns that the continuing.
So this is your third year, right?
This will be my third year.
Yeah, but you always can resign, apply others. That's how she did this year.
No, this is my second year, right? This is my second year, isn't it? I'm there till 2027. My term ends on 2027.
2027?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be there.
I hope you dedicate on this committee
Yes.
in the future.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
I would have nominated myself for being vice chair.
So do we have a second? are you seconding, Commissioner Pan?
I
Or
think
were
she
you
seconded
commenting?
herself. Yeah, she can second. I just commenting. Yeah.
Okay.
I just commenting that.
I can second myself.
Sure, yeah. All right, so we'll take a vote then, or is there any other nominations for the group? Okay. Commissioner Pan,
I.
Commissioner Chochi,
Aye.
Chair Zhao, excuse me.
Yeah, I.
Commissioner Shu,
Aye.
and Commissioner Shaktal.
Right.
Great, motion passes unanimously.
Okay, so then we need to approve meeting minutes, right?
Yes, and those commissioners who were not here in December, you can either abstain if you didn't have a chance to read or watch or listen to the recording from last month, or sorry, 2 months ago, or you can vote on it if you happen to read them and you agree. But otherwise, you can abstain.
I think I can make motion to approve the meeting minutes. I actually read it online.
I can second.
Vote.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So, because both of us were not here in that meeting,
Mhm.
can we vote to approve maybe
You-
only you
If
three?
Yeah.
If you read them and you agree with it, then you are able to vote. Otherwise, abstain. So if you didn't have a chance to read through them, then just abstain during the vote.
Yes, it's not necessary. Oh, next time you can. Yeah.
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 Okay, Commissioner Pan,
I.
Vice Chair Chochi,
Yes.
Chair Zhao,
Right. Yeah.
Commissioner Shu,
Also abstain.
and Commissioner Shakti.
Abstain.
Great, thank you. Motion carries.
Okay, so for the next item, it's oral communications. Looks like we do not have some people to present. So then then we go with the written communications. We do not receive any written communication. Do you got any email or something? No? Okay. And then okay, so then we go with the old business. Do we have anything for the old business? No.
We don't have any more business now?
Okay, then we go new business. So the first thing we need to discuss the Cupertino Port Lorry subcommittee, right? So I think the Port Lorry will be due in the next in this year, right?
Yeah, so our current poet laureate, and this is 2025, is her last year of service.
Uh-huh.
And so we are now moving to the selection process, which will include recruitment, interviewing, selection, and then she will, or whomever is selected will then shadow our current poet laureate for several months, and then they will take over next January. So, and we have for our new commissioners, we have a brand new poet laureate playbook that the commission worked on last year, and so we're now working off of that particular playbook for this project.
Yes, we need to form a subcommittee to select the new Port Lorry. In the past, I think Ms. Panda lead the subcommittee. So usually, she need to contact a different organization to select the candidate in the interview panel. Then the interview panel will interview the candidate. Also, we need to let the public know this position is available. So we encourage more people to apply. Then we conduct the interview to select the candidate. So who would like to be in the subcommittee? Okay, that's great. Jianqi will be in the subcommittee. Anyone else? We
need 2 people.
We need 2 people. Yeah.
I want to know if Han Qin,
No.
you-
Yeah, because I already actually expressed
Oh.
my.
Probably you can try.
No
Yeah, you
interest.
can
I can try,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
You
need
can
someone.
It's
to,
okay. I will talk with you.
Yeah,
all
to
the
share
details.
your
Yeah, more
Yes.
information. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we just need a motion then, stating that we have 2 new members of the subcommittee, and we'll take a vote.
We need to make motion, right?
Yeah, we need a motion.
Okay.
I can make a motion that we have a subcommittee for select the port lawyer for next 2026, 2027. Can include Jackie and Nina.
And can we get a second?
I second that.
Let's vote. Commissioner Pan,
Aye.
Vice Chair Chochi,
Hi.
Chair Zhao,
Aye.
Commissioner Shu,
Aye.
Commissioner Sacco. Thank you.
Then the Pottery Playbook 2024, it's okay. Do we need to discuss this
So
playbook?
you guys approved it in
Okay.
December,
Uh-huh.
and now that's the document that we're looking forward with.
Okay, it's already approved then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm happy to meet with the subcommittee if we want to talk about what a game plan looks like. So let me know, we can put that on the calendar.
Sure, please.
Yes, they have all the schedule. Which month is for the publication? Which month is for the interview? They have all the schedule on the playbook. Probably you can take a look. So
Just attach the playbook to the agenda that went out this time. And so that is there, so I would review it, and then we'll set up a meeting for next week to talk about what this looks like.
Sure.
okay, yeah.
So I would like to request the meeting. Yes.
I'll have Jeff set that up for us.
Yes, thank you.
Then we will go to the report and update. The first one will be monthly update report. Okay, so library commissioner, you can go
Yeah,
first.
thank you.
Yeah.
Fill out my report. Welcome to our new commissioners. My name is Bryant Bell, and I have the pleasure of serving as your community librarian here at Cupertino Library. And welcome back to our other members who I worked with last year. Let's see if I can pull up this on my new laptop. Here. So, this is our first report of the year in February 2025. Some quick number reports. I know for commissioners who've been there, they're really used to being able to see compared numbers to previous months. We're using a slightly different tracking system for our numbers, starting this pretty much in January. So I'm a little hesitant to compare numbers because there is some discrepancies that I haven't fully been able to grasp and understand and explain. But these numbers, for the most part, look correct to me. We had a total of 109,000 checked outs in January. Over 17,000 people took advantage of our library system in Barra. On average, we had 14,107 items sitting on our hold shelf waiting for folks to pick up. Over 100,000 people took advantage of our online resources within the library space. Some of you have sharp memories, right? Remember, the numbers I was reporting in previous months showed closer to 20 to 30,000. So again, there's been a change in how we report those numbers, and I believe they are now able to capture the information from our Wi-Fi networks. So when someone's on a computer or tablet or whatever it is in our building on our Wi-Fi, and they use a library resource, we are now able to track those numbers, which is why the numbers have increased. A total of almost 64,000 people came in through our gates in January. Our meeting room saw 648 bookings. We had a total of 61 programs for adults, children, and teens, with a little over 3,000 people attending those events. And I'm very excited to report that we had 9 community room rentals. So those are programs and events not run by the library, but just by community members coming in and using this very room. Some photos from January. We had 2 music events, chamber music by the bay there. You can see the kids getting to actually get hands-on with musicians' musical instruments after the event. That's always quite popular, and Mr. Mendoza there was actually in this room upstairs entertaining our adults and teens at a afternoon musical event that he did. To celebrate the Lunar New Year, we had two great events. One was a public program for the younger kids, and that gentleman might look familiar to some of you on the left there. We had Chef Mark Meehan come on in and do a demo for our families, and at the bottom there you can see he had some young assistants pulled out from the crowd as well, and I think they really enjoyed that aspect of it. I'm told a little over 160 people attended that event at Community Hall, so we were very pleased with that turnout. A quick snapshot of the February calendar for the children's events. Some things that I would like to highlight. If you've got little ones in your life, or just family who's interested, we've got a lion dance event happening this Saturday, February 8th. It's going to be out on the plaza, as long as it doesn't rain. If it does rain, we do have a plan to bring it inside, but it will get quite noisy, I'm sure. Another thing I want to highlight is on February 22nd, we got Mr. Boom Boom. He is a DJ that specializes in doing music for children and families. It's always a very popular event. If you got kiddos, do bring them in. It's a lot of fun. Snapshot of the adult and teen calendar side of things. A lot of our programs is going to be focused on Silicon Valley Reads, but we also have a Lunar New Year concert with the Firebird Youth Chinese Orchestra on Sunday, February 9th. They'll be downstairs in room 101. If you are into gardening, we've got master gardeners coming in to do a seed to summer feast, growing your favorite summer veggies from scratch on Wednesday, February 19th. So for our gardeners, definitely take advantage of that if you're able to come in. January, of course, is Black History Month. We celebrate with a number of programs specifically here in Cupertino Library listed there by those dates. If you're curious, there is a full listing of all offerings online through that link to all our library systems programs that are taking place. Silicon Valley Reads is, of course, on its way, and programs are happening left and right. I think we have a total of over 60 programs at Santa Clara County Library District alone. You'll notice that the flyer that you have has a lot more dates listed. Silicon Valley Reads is an event that almost all local libraries participate in, and schools and museums. So there's a lot of things happening throughout the Bay Area that is tied to Silicon Valley Reads. But again, that link there will take you specifically to all SDCLD SVR events. Do take a look at it. I'm very excited that in March that we'll be bringing in the Retro Roadshow. This is a group that does kind of more hands-on shows of electronics, and they're just going to be focused on kind of how Apple has transformed through the age, through the years. So I think they'll be very relevant to it. A small update to our Enchanted Spaces. Unfortunately, we did have a delay due to one permit issue. We don't have specific dates yet, but we're fairly certain the start date will be sometime in March. And due to the scheduling change, most likely we will finish at the end of May. As soon as I have updated dates, I will let everybody know, and of course we will update our website. I always try to wrap this up by talking about one resource or one program people may not know about. Here at Santa Clara County Library District, we have a group reading program that is one-on-one tutoring to help adults who are struggling to read English. So for those of you who may be interested in volunteering, you can follow that link and find out information more on how you can participate. But if you have somebody in your life who is trying to learn how to read, it is a fantastic way to get help. So do take a look at it and let folks know if it is a resource that you can take advantage of. And lastly, February 17th, President's Day, we will be closed. But of course, still staff working in this building nonetheless because it's just too busy otherwise. So we will be open to the public that day. And that's the end of my presentation. Do we have any questions? Sorry, I tend to talk fast.
Just
Yes.
one suggestion.
Of course.
Like previous year, we had those two columns of previous month's room bookings and those kind of things. That used to give us glance to compare the two. How much we have increased in room booking
Yeah.
or those kind of things.
I'm gonna do that moving forward month by month, but again, because of kind of how they're tracking numbers a little differently, some of the numbers when you compare to previous months will be wildly off, like the
Oh, okay.
online, the booking.
Got it.
It's like 100,000 people this month. What happened? Like in December,
Yeah.
you reported only 26,000.
Hi.
So
Got
there's some discrepancies that's kind of difficult for me to explain at this point. So I'm starting fresh and new, but month by month you will see that similar comparison. And we're going to have a conversation with our IT specialist so that he can explain to us some of these changes so that I'm better able to kind of let you know kind of why there's been changes to the numbers. But But
Fantastic.
going forward, we're still going to do the month-by-month comparison, so you'll see the collection and be able to compare the numbers.
Fantastic. Thank you so
Of
much.
course. Do you have a question?
I have some question. So for all the events, where can we find the program list or event list?
So there's two ways. We have a physical calendar that is usually only 1 month, the current month or 1 month in advance is all you'll see. That's available in our children and adult space, and I believe every month we do send out digital versions of that to all the commissioners in case you want to, let folks who are in your network know about it. However, if you go to our home website, sccld.org/events, you'll be able to see all library programs in Santa Clara County Library District. And of course, you can filter by age, by library, if you just want to see specifically what's at Cupertino or location.
Oh.
And if you need help with that, let me know. I'm happy to walk you through.
Yeah, and so look for that email from Jessica. She'll send it every month that has both calendars, both the children and adult calendar attached to it.
I just want to check for community member how easy they can
Yeah.
find that
Yeah.
information.
The city staff will send us email with the PDF attachment.
Yeah.
So all of us will get the email or the PDF attachment, so we can, post
Can
that
have
PDF to the different groups, so that in the community will be aware of this wonderful program.
Sure, most of our average users, they're going to go to sccld.org. That's our home website.
Yes.
They can hop right onto events here, and again, you can start by just taking a look at, I want to go to Cupertino Library, so I'm going to filter by Cupertino Library, or I'm only interested in kids event because I want to bring my kids to, the library. Or you can look at all events, and that will show you the entire system's offerings.
And for that celebration of Lunar New Year, I saw the photo is taken in the community hall.
Yes, that's
Is
correct.
that- Oh.
Some of our
Looks
larger
great.
events, because these are the size of our program rooms, and there is a strict limitation for safety reasons and how many people we can have in the space, and that's just dictated by the fire marshal. If we know it's going to be a bigger event like Martin Yan, where we know there's going to be a lot of people showing up, we'll see if we can book the community hall. And of course, it costs us a little bit extra, but it's often worth the effort because more people will be able to participate and see it.
Okay.
So often our larger programs, you'll see in that.
And here comes another question.
That's okay.
So you are talking about the room rental. So in this library, how many room is
So
for
there's two
rental?
types of rooms. There's 3 meeting rooms, well, technically 4 meeting rooms. So those are free to book. So as long as you have a Santa Clara County Library District card, you're able to go to the website and book rooms and use it once a day. For the rental rooms is actually this room right here. Right now the glass wall behind you is separating it into 2 rooms, but that can be broken down and the full room is available to the public to rent for $25 for up to 4 hours at a time. And if you manage to get a booking more than 4 hours, then it'll be $50. But you can't ever exceed 8 hours because that's we just don't have any times beyond that.
So this room rental is separate from the park and rec
That's
room
correct.
rental.
It's just
Looks like the
opportunity
price is
Low?
not much friendly.
But I think the difference is for the park and the rec room, you can rent for private event.
Yes.
But here, if you rent the room, it has to be public.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you cannot have host your your daughter's birthday can only be in park recs, like the Creekside Park has a room. You
Yeah.
can rent that room for your daughter's birthday, but you cannot rent here for your daughter's birthday.
Oh,
But
yeah.
also, I don't know, maybe Brian can share with us the nature of those rent happened in this area.
But I think the meeting room rental is very useful, like for the Boy Scouts, if they have some.
That has a limitation as
So
well.
the meeting rooms, you're able to do more closed-door private events. You don't have to invite everybody in. For the room rentals, it's really meant to replicate what a library would do as a library program, and our guidelines are kind of follow that as well. So Boy Scouts say if the Boy Scouts try to have a troop meeting here where only the Boy Scout troops can
The
come
troop
in,
meeting, the room is not big enough. I'm
We-
thinking about maybe patrol meeting or maybe some.
Yeah, we wouldn't allow that.
some
But then
random.
we've had Boy Scouts do a kind of merit badge training where they're teaching people how to play chess. And anybody from the public can come in and say, hey, I want to learn how to play chess, or I want to play chess against somebody, and someone sits down and plays chess with them, then that's perfectly fine. So we were able to rent it out to them for that purpose. Often it will be cultural celebrations or or informational talks, because someone wants to present on something they're knowledgeable about, and they have a background to be kind of an expert on something, on the topic. So we've seen a variety of usage of the room, but as Chin pointed out, the main stipulation is A, it has to be free and available for anyone from the public to attend, and secondly, it has to be, an informational session often, or a cultural celebration, or something for the public to enjoy. So it can't be closed door events.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So where do I need to zoom in the number of books that going out, right? Like especially I want to see whether the adults books, especially
Sorry, I can't hear you very well. What was your question?
something to zoom in the number of books out, right? Like the physical checkouts and the borrowers online books, right? Like how do we zoom in what kind of books basically interested, that the community is interested?
So you're interested in a breakdown of more like what books go out?
Yeah,
on
breakdown. Is it something available or it's just?
It's not available online, but if you are curious about that, I can certainly look into it and give you a more nuanced breakdown if that's what you would like to see. Yeah, we generally look at kind of age groups and kind of material types like DVDs, books versus audiobooks. And you can see I created a short annual report, a little two-pager there, and some of that is broken down for the entire year. So you're able to see a little bit more. But again, if you're more interested in like fiction, nonfiction, what parts of nonfiction people are checking out, is it the history section, is it the math section, is it the the coding section? There is that information available, and I can kind of pick it up and show you some patterns and theories.
So especially the community here is kind of looking more, at least personally, I also look at some of the more advanced books preferred here. Sometimes the library offers to get the book from universities, right? Like other libraries, not from the universities, right? Especially the all these AI stuff or the upcoming technology size. I'm just trying to like whether we have enough books like that, or if the people are like waiting for in a line to get the book to come, and then that's my interest.
Yeah, if you're interested, we can certainly separately have that conversation and kind of see what you're interested in, and I'll take it up and I'll show everybody kind of
Sure.
the answers to your questions. Just because again, for me, I just think that most folks aren't that interested. They just want to know how many books went out and stuff like that. For librarians, that's very interesting because we need to figure out, well, what books should we be buying for our communities? How do we make sure that we meet the needs of our community's demands and things like that? Yeah, if you're curious about that, we can certainly pull those reports out and go over them.
And one more question about these programs. Who decides this program? Like how do you?
Yeah, so the majority of the programs are. Sorry. The majority of the programs are run by the library and librarians, and they have the training and the expertise to do a lot of the programs. But especially on the adult side, oftentimes we just bring in like speakers or performers that are of interest to our community. And often, we have feedback forms and we ask people, what would you like to see next at the library? And through the feedback that we get and kind of the attendance that we see for different topics, we kind of gauge, well, should we bring more of this? Oftentimes it's just keeping an eye on the news. What's on top of mind for the community? What are people thinking about? AI right now is on everybody's mind, so we've seen a series of AI programs come through the library. We also work with the Cupertino Library Foundation, and they often put programs on through the library as well. And they support a lot of our programs with money as well. So you'll see sometimes our programs are tagged with either Friends of the Library or Cupertino Library Foundation. And those are the two major groups that kind of support us with funding to do these sorts of events.
So in this, there is any AI other stuff. Like I'm trying to find out any awareness related to this. Like a lot of, at least I know personally a couple of people get affected with this automated bot calls, other stuff, right? Like the awareness programs, anything libraries planning?
We've had a few in the past. I have to take a look at our future schedule to know beyond February what might be happening, but definitely take a look at the Silicon Valley Reads event, because the theme of Silicon Valley Reads this year is, I'm going to correct something wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, it's
empowering humanity, technology for a better world.
Oh,
and a lot of it is going to be focused on AI, and in fact the books they selected is around that topic, so for people interested,
right.
It's certainly worth the read.
Okay.
I have a question regarding this Saturday's program. It's a concert, right? It's music.
The orchestra, the Firebird Orchestra is Sunday.
Oh, this Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be Sunday downstairs in 101, and the Lion Dance is going to be on Saturday.
Two program, one is
Two
line
different
dancing.
programs, so
Okay.
we're gonna hear, yes.
So usually, they need to apply this program to 1 month ago, 2 months ago, to
To attend? No, it's walk-in. Yeah, both events will be
perform.
walk-in, no
It's
registration.
no. Do they need to register? Oh no, it's open.
It's just walk-in, yeah.
Okay.
Just if you're, usually registration, there's some programs that are more limited because of space and or the availability of, sometimes it's crafts, so we only have so much supplies. And sometimes it's a speaker where they feel they best engage with the smaller crowd, so they may request, like our mindfulness and how to manage your mind event. You requested that he didn't have no more than 30 people because he felt like he couldn't do a good job of engaging with the crowd otherwise. So okay, we'll make it registration. But if it is, it will be indicated on the physical calendar. It'll say registration required with a link on how to go. And of course, if you go online to the website and look at the event page, you'll be able to register.
So for the organizer, for example, the concert, the group, they need to talk to the library first to apply to work with you, right? For the yeah.
It kind of goes both ways. Sometimes
Okay.
we reach out to them
Okay.
because
Okay.
that's a theme that we're trying to do programs around. So we know there's specific performers or speakers we would want to bring in. And other times they reach out to us, and in fact, there is a way to apply for program sponsorship on our website, and we get a lot of people, applying through there, and only a small fraction of those generally get approved. But for the most part, a lot of them are just staff reaching out.
Staff reaching out. Okay. Can you show me the link of how to? Because I know a lot of people ask me, how to. We want to have some program in the library. How can we apply?
Yeah.
So probably we, if
So
we know
again,
the
there's two
link.
ways. One is obviously just to book a room and do it yourself. It
Okay.
would be a library sponsored program, but you need to be able to get the space for $25.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't actually know where it is navigationally. I always just toggle the search from catalog to website, and I just type library sponsored program.
That's fine. Okay.
There it is, second one.
Okay.
And it's a full page that allows you to fill out kind of who you are, what's your experience, have you worked with libraries before, and then once you progress further in the application, it'll ask you which libraries you're willing to go to. And oftentimes people will select multiple locations, and all the program managers at those locations will receive the email, and then they'll be able to evaluate whether they want to bring them or not. But due to the sheer volume that we get, and it says at the bottom too, basically, you may not get a response from us. It's only if we're interested, we'll reach out to you.
Okay. Okay.
So one more question. So it looks like our library connected 773 programs, right?
That's correct.
Last year. And then the total average is 42,389.
Yes, that's correct.
So the average per event looks like 55. Like if I just blindly divide, right?
Some good math. Yes.
So it's a good number, at least when I look at it, right? And do you know any limitations or the program count? Basically, it's limited by 50 people, 60 people, or first come, first serve.
So there's a few things to take into account. A lot of our programs report as a single program, but there's limited space.
Oh.
So for example, our tutoring program, that counts as one event, but really you're not going to see more than 3 or 4 students come in for the hour where they're available. Other times you'll see events like if you were here last year, we had a summer music courtyard series. On average, anywhere from 100 to 190 people attending one of these events. Story times, almost always packed, close to 100, sometimes 200 on weekends. So the numbers do fluctuate depending on the type of program. Oftentimes the limitation is in the type of program it is and how we kind of engage with the community members. That said, the limitation often is being able to find the time and space and the staff to run these programs. Again, we make sure that the events are fully staffed and we have the marketing behind it. So there are some limitations to maximum number of programs we can do with what we have on hand, on top of everything else that's happening. And that's partially why we offer the rooms as rental spaces, because again, the community members might step in and fill that need.
So the rental is also part of the...
No, the rental does not count. We don't count that in that because it's not library run. But again, if you're curious, I can pull those numbers up and let you know kind of how many we've seen. On average, we see anywhere from 4 to 8. 9's a little unusually high. I think there was one month where we had 11. But that's usually how many rentals you get, and that comes down to sometimes people rent a room for 4 hours or even 8 hours at a time. And once you do that, no one else can do a program that day because it's paid.
Right. Okay.
You read those numbers because this is my 7th year as a commissioner, and that's one of the piece of data I've been asking Brian about for a while. Before the expansion program, we always share those numbers with us, and you will see, compared with the sister libraries, Cupertino always standing out, like book checkout, get count, everything. And then when you come to here, the programs, we are way behind the others because we don't have space.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, actually, before this expansion project, that the community hall, when this new library was built, when we talk about the Cupertino history, right? When this new library, the community hall actually was a joint space to be shared by library and the city hall. And so I believe history. I don't know. I don't think Brian has a history. I don't think Molly has a history. I don't think anybody has that long history. But you remember.
I heard about it. They didn't design a program room for this building because this has the community hall belongs to the library. But in fact, it's very hard for library to use that for events.
Yeah, it's very difficult for library. You need to a lot of coordinations and cost. Cost may be a minor, coordination more issue. So that's the big motivation for this expansion project. So after this, the only good thing for pandemic is for this expansion project actually to be move forward, actually complete on time, on budget, I believe, and even with some federal money, would be able to get.
Also,
and now the number is shooting up to the
The
roof.
community hall was shared by Cupertino Historical Society as well.
Oh yes, yeah.
So one question:
anyway.
if we use the community hall, do we need to pay?
Yes, we currently do pay if
Wow.
we use community hall, but they do give us the discounted nonprofit rates.
So when I look at those two graphs, right, like the highest is Morgan Hill, which is almost 270 programs higher than Cupertino, right? That's but then when I look at averaging the number of persons, Cupertino stands out, like 54 per event or 55. Just it shows like there is community interest, and potentially the events also will get attraction too.
And I think part of it, again, why I haven't really done a lot of number comparisons is because we do need to standardize how we report on programs and event types. Because, again, I kind of question, how do you get 1,043 events when there's only 365 days a year?
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
There may be some in and out discrepancies because of that, but I know the attendance rate is reflective of people who have come in for set programs. How we report the programs, the software may have done something a little funny in terms of marking ages, is what I'm told. But one of our IT people is working on untangling that for us. So hopefully we'll be able to take a better look at those numbers moving forward this year.
Yeah, you're right. So it could be online events too, right?
Well, we filtered for that. So we filtered out all numbers for them and for us. So it's the same set of numbers being reported for the same types of programs. So again, there's just a question of, well, how are programs reported? And again, it's possible that, again, they may have a lot of one single events, like tutorings, where that is marked as a program, but only 1 or 2 people may attend. Or maybe they have a daily program where you can book a librarian to help you with technology. So, even if nobody booked you, it was still available, so it's marked as a program, even though there was 0 attendance, and that might explain the discrepancy in numbers. But again, we won't really know until we have that conversation.
Okay.
Actually, that's a good point. I remember Morgan Hill, if you're looking for the gate count for Morgan Hill is much smaller.
Yeah.
And then I remember when the tutoring program, it was actually, more started over there in Morgan Hill for those Spanish-speaking patrons. So that's probably they have a lot more one-to-one program. One-to-one, consider tutoring like a program compared with us, like here. More program is like summer
My emphasis is always, it's not a competition, and if
It's
they are
okay.
managing those high numbers, I like to know, well, how can we emulate? What are you doing? What's successful? What's not? And of course, they ask us the same thing. Well, how do you get so many people to show up at your programs? What are you doing marketing that's different? And it's an opportunity for us to learn from all our sister countries. And to me, like any increase in program numbers, any increase in attendance, that's good for the whole system. Doesn't matter who gets it. It's great.
Yeah.
I think that's it's just to me, I'm more curious because I know a little bit more history, so I'm very happy the expansion project can serve the community, can provide so many programs and have so many community members now can attend those programs, use this new space.
Okay, so any more discussion?
No.
Okay, then we can move to committee librarian.
Good evening, commissioners, and really great questions. And thank you, Brian, for providing all of that information. Always does such a great job on his presentations. It's great to be back with all of you in the new year. I am Marlene Iwamoto Rothschild, Deputy County Librarian, and I am delighted to be here to share highlights from the county library report, which I believe is in the electronic packet. It's not in the current packet or agenda that we have. Brian covered much of what I was going to talk about, which is Silicon Valley Reads. Our take on AI with the 2025 theme is Empowering Humanity, Technology for a Better World. As Brian mentioned, we're in full swing with all county events. In front of you, you have a list of many of the programs that are happening throughout the county. You'll notice on the back that there's San Jose Public Library, Office of Education, and then our county library. So they are our partners in Silicon Valley Reads. So the events, you'll see that there are several events that are actually part of San Jose as well as our county libraries. And we had a very successful kickoff just at De Anza College. It's down the street last week where we heard from all featured authors. And then also in honor of Silicon Valley Reads, if you would like to learn coding or brush up on your web skills, the library offers Treehouse. It is a fabulous resource that you can use online. And then, as Brian mentioned too, is February is Black History Month. All events are online. There's displays in our libraries. There's also online new book lists as well as jazz musicians and chefs. And Brian also mentioned the reading program. So we definitely need tutors. If you or someone you know is interested in helping, please consider joining the team of tutors in the reading program. By helping learners achieve English language fluency to reach their goals. Orientations are at the Milpitas Library in March and then in the Gilroy Library in April.
Is this the ESL program? No?
It is the reading program.
Reading program. It's
Yes.
different from the ESL program, right?
It is different,
Okay.
yes. However, we do have ESL learners that are being tutored by our tutors. And then in front of you, you also have a postcard. So Storybook SCCLD is currently in construction at our Saratoga Library with a grand opening in mid-March. And that's about the time that Cupertino is going to hopefully start their construction as well with a target date of finishing in May. We'll definitely keep all of you updated. On your card, you'll see our delightful cast of characters from Storybook SCCLD. And then finally, I'd like to thank those of you that attended the SCCLD forum on Saturday. I hope you enjoyed the day and took away something new that you learned. And I have come to the end of my report, and I do thank you for your time tonight, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
One question on this, so is it a virtual always like the intro to the applications and ethics for teens, right there? The last program.
The last program?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. AI Intro to Applications and Ethics for Teens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is this something collaboration with the schools or just like it's independent of the independent of the schools? Because this is something which is needed now, especially for the school kids.
This one, I believe, well, this one's virtual, so
Virtual.
I think it may be separate from the school.
Okay.
But we certainly can work with the school districts to promote the program. It's appropriate. Mm-hmm.
Right, because most of the all these AI tools are now helping people to, like, two ways, right? You can use that for learning. You can also use it for taking homework done by AI itself, right? You have basically blind spot there. Whether how you're basically it's one of the good program. I feel like it should be like collaborating library and school district. There's high chance that creating an awareness.
Yeah, I will take this back and make sure that we are contacting the school districts to promote the program, to make sure that the teens, I agree with you completely that,
Thank you.
that they hopefully will attend. Thank you.
Any more questions? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then the brand of library is not here, right? Okay. Cooper Library Foundation.
I'm not supposed to speak for Cupertino Life Foundation, but I have a question for the Port Lawyer check, because I presumably you presented it to her in January. Actually, I was out of town, so I wish I would be able to present it to her, but I'm not. Thank you, Brian. That's it.
So Port Lawyer is not here. Okay. I hope in the future probably she can attend a few, at least our meetings, so we can get in touch. Otherwise, I feel sometimes for the popular program we kind of feel it's out of touch. Probably, in the future we can.
Yeah, and per the handbook, she does need to attend at least 2 meetings
Yeah.
this year, and so I reminded her of that.
Okay.
The last time I communicated with her, she reached out about a potential program. So I'll remind her.
Okay.
And hopefully in our next meeting she'll be able to attend.
Okay.
Just one question. Sorry, I'm just trying to understand this one. Friends of Library, Cupertino Library Foundation, is it a separate?
Yeah, they are now different. It's two different organizations.
Okay.
But she is
They're all
a
different
member of
parts.
the Cuban Library Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm also, I think historically, there was one library commissioner, right? But for example, I think before me was Jerry Liu, who the library commissioner, also a CLF board member. So I think the advantage for that is, although technically, when I'm sitting here, I cannot represent CLF,
Right. Oh.
but at least I know, how CLF is run the programs, and for example, that's why I'm asking for the Port Lawyer the check for when we review this book, because I'm the only one knows what's happening in CLF, and when I read the book, that piece of information get me clicked. So I brought up for discussion and recommended a number, and although request the check cannot come from me, it's from Bryant. But because I'm also a CLF board member, so I know how things runs in the CLF. So when I'm sitting here, I can wear my commissioner hats, and I can provide recommendations.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think
and
it's.
is this foundations or the programs will funded by the county, or is it they take any help
No.
or anything, or separate completely?
Yeah, it's
independent?
private.
Very, it's a complete different
Oh.
entities. Yeah, so Friends of Library raise their fund by book sales or others, and they whatever the money they raised, I cannot speak for them. Maybe Brian can speak for the Friends of Library.
I don't know. I just first time I'm seeing, so I'm just
No,
trying to
it's
understand.
okay.
So the Friends of the Library work directly in our library. They're a volunteer organization that takes all our book donations.
Okay.
And often when we discard books, we run it by them first.
Oh.
And they do the book sales you see in the lobby, and you see every 3 or 4 months they have a book sale in Community Hall. That's 2 days long. That's all the Friends of the Library. And the money directly goes back to supporting library programs and various other things we need at our foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Cupertino Library Foundation, they have an endowment, also they accept donations, and they support various programs in the community.
Oh.
And I think the expansion project, CLF was part of like a stakeholder, provide suggestion, recommendations, and so.
So the front of library, from my experience the past 2 or 3 years, I didn't see any of them show up in the meeting. It's this because it's always listed in here, and always nobody attended the meeting. So do we still need to put in here, or do we? What's the?
I can find out if they have to stay in there. We do invite them
Okay.
to the meetings, so I don't know if it's.
Once in a while, if we could ask them to
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
come
probably
so
at
that-
least one, so we can understand more about
Sure.
that. And I know they have the book sale in the last weekend. I actually come the weekend and buy some book. So I think we have new commissioner probably if they at least show up and introduce.
Yeah.
So they would
maybe
be.
for the next meeting we can see if we can get representatives from
Yeah.
all of these organizations to
Yeah.
come.
And
That's
I
reminded me, actually, Orin actually told me, asked me, and I completely forgot, to invite him to come to this meeting. He wants to present the aquarium project.
Or Mahoney?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so please, is that the project going to be done by April or no?
That's a good question. I haven't seen any timelines that are strictly tell me yet when they're starting. I think they're still in the RFP process.
Okay.
But I'm sure he'd be happy to come talk about it.
Yeah, it's a great project, so she told me, when will be the commission? I said, well, we only host in every other month now.
And as a community member in the past, in my eyes, looks like the CRF had close tie to our library because all the donation to Cupertino Library goes through the CRF. I remember. I donate.
So it would be the friends. You're talking about physical donations like
No.
books?
Okay.
No. I mean, for the expansion program, I donated to Cupertino Library, but actually I need to go to the CRF website to
Okay,
donate.
so
I just remember.
That's
so
correct.
They have close collaboration with our library.
This is a one-time deal, and actually I'm the one is serve as the liaison and to make this happening.
Oh.
Make this happening because city cannot accept donations from residences, and at the time CRF was a stakeholder for this expansion project. So so I think at the time I still will commissioner heads, and I'm in the working group for the expansion project. Me and Rakul, 2 of us, we are in the working group for the expansion project, and that's how we come
was
up.
there too, right?
Huh?
Kiran was there too, right?
No, Kieran wasn't a library commissioner.
Right. Yes.
So that's how the the donation came. The donor were currently in the courtyard, and become part of this project. So that was a joint efforts. But in general, CRF accept donations, but those donations is not necessarily directly tied to the library program. Although CRF did sponsor many library programs.
I think since we have 2 new commissioners, they, with
Have
those
questions,
2
good
organizations,
questions,
they may not get familiar with that. So probably our next meeting, if they can,
When we get to future agenda setting on our.
Yeah.
Okay.
One request. My daughter's wedding is in April. If it is possible.
We're going to talk about the April meeting.
Yeah.
So just wait. We're going
Okay.
to get into the April meeting. Yeah. I have an update for that.
Okay, so then staff and the commission report. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and I have a long report for you. Sorry, Jess gave me a full page this time.
Okay.
So just as a reminder, there's the annual mandatory commissioner training scheduled for next Thursday, February the 13th from 6 to 7 p.m. in Community Hall. If you cannot make it, they will be in touch after the training happens to have you, I think, maybe watch the video recording of it.
It's Thursday?
Next Thursday, the
Thursday.
13th.
Okay.
So for the Parks and Recreation Department, I've got a whole slew of upcoming events. We've got the 2025 Cupertino State of the City address, which is Wednesday, February 26th. The reception begins at 6:30 p.m. and then followed by the mayor's address at 7 p.m. For more information, or to register, you can visit cupertino.gov/state of the city. We've got our Sweetheart Social Saturday, February 8th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Community Center. We've got Glow Night Golf Friday, February 28th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Blackberry Farm Golf Course. The Big Bunny 5K is Saturday, March 8th at 8:30 p.m. and there's a kids run at 9:30. I'm sorry, not p.m. a.m. And there's a kids run at 9:30 a.m. and it's held here in the Civic Center Plaza. We've also got our Teen Resource Fair, which is Saturday, March 15th. That's from noon to 3 p.m. On Main Street in Cupertino. We've got our Spring Swing Scramble, Saturday, March 22nd at 10 a.m. At Blackberry Farm Golf Course. And then we have our Pooch Plunge, which is probably the most popular event out at Blackberry Farm, where the dogs can come and swim in the pool. And we're doing a second one because the first one is so popular. And that is Saturday, March 29th at 9 a.m. At the Blackberry Farm Pool. And for all of the events that I talked about, you can register at reg4rec.org. Other city updates. The city has soft launched our new website in December, and we appreciate your understanding as we refine the site and work through any issues that have come up. And then so during the transition time, there's been some technical issues that you may have experienced with broken links and things like that. If you come across anything, please, you can either reach out to myself or Jess and we can pass that on to our IT team, or you can email webmaster@cupertino.gov with that information. Also a reminder, if you plan on traveling internationally while you're serving on the commission, to please let our IT department know. You can email helpdesk@cupertino.gov and let them know where you're planning to travel and which dates you'll be out of the country so that they can disable your account while you're traveling abroad. And then finally, this is our information about the April meeting. So our regular April meeting is scheduled for April the 2nd, and it's been canceled due to a conflict with the City Council's special meeting. So the City Council has a special meeting held that same night, and so we needed to cancel our meeting because we can't have a commission meeting on the same night as the City Council meeting. So Jessica's going to send out a poll for everybody to let us know which other date might be better. I think some of the dates we were looking at were in much later April. So 25, 26, sometime in there.
That's fine.
No,
I'm not available.
Okay, so she'll send out a poll and
Okay.
we'll try to figure it out. We can also meet into May. So no
Yeah.
problem. We'll figure out a date that works for everybody. And that's all I have. Any questions?
So with all of the meeting, then the mandatory training, it happened in next Thursday.
Yes.
Okay, so probably all of us need to attend the training for commission training. It's mandatory for
Yeah, but
everybody.
I'm not available, so I think I already mailed them.
Okay.
There is
Yeah.
a makeup thing, something.
So they'll be, so the city clerk will be in touch
Right.
to talk to you about how to make that up.
Okay, sure, yeah.
How
Yes.
about when we will have a new photo?
And at our next meeting, we'll take a new photo.
Next meeting?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that will be in May then.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Can we move up earlier than, given that the photo?
We could potentially
is
do like the
off
end
date.
end of March and do a meeting at the same time.
I think
Oh,
that's
end of
better.
March?
Yeah.
End of March would be good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's
I'm,
good
Okay,
for
I'm
me.
that
available
works for
end
me,
of
so
March.
I'll let
Yeah.
Jess know that maybe the end of March is better
Special
than
meeting,
April.
yeah.
Let's have a
Yes.
special meeting.
That's better.
We just have to make sure, we can't have any two commissions meet on the same night. So we just have to make sure, that's the hardest part, picking a date, is making sure that there's room available here at the library, but then also that it doesn't conflict with any other of the city's commissions on the same night. So it's harder than it sounds to find a different date. So I'll have Jess look at it and she'll poll you and we'll shoot for maybe.
If we have meeting at the same time, that will be okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yeah.
That would
Meeting
be
and
ideal,
the
is to
meeting
meet
day
at the
and the
same
picture day the same time that will be.
Yes, that would be
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
But I think the room availability is I think Brian can figure out something, right? Not necessarily needs to be this room because like the old tic tac, those smaller rooms is also allowed, right? It's not like
We have options if the dates Jess asked for doesn't work for her. She'll come back and ask me for different dates and we'll find something. If nothing else, usually if it's not a Wednesday, room 101 should be available.
Okay. Then the commissioner attendees at the upcoming meeting at the event.
Yeah, so there's the mayor's meeting. The next mayor's meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, March 19th at 5 p.m. It's in person.
March 19th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday, March 19th, in person at the Quinlan Community Center in the social room. Are you able to attend?
So in the future, the mayor's meeting is every month or every other month?
In person every other month.
Every other month, okay.
And then they'll do virtual on the other months.
Ah, so then March is in person, then May will be virtual, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
No, March will be in person.
April will be in April.
It's a
will
monthly,
be,
right?
on
Every other month.
No.
No. I thought it was every month, but I don't have February on here, so now I'm not
Yeah.
sure if maybe it got changed.
It's up
Before,
to the mayor.
before it was every
Okay.
month.
Okay.
But I'm not seeing Justin put the February date in here, so
Mhm.
I don't know if something changed and I just not.
Okay,
privy to it.
okay.
We'll let you know, but
Okay.
for sure, March 19th, I believe, is the next in-person meeting.
Okay. Yeah, March I'm available.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
So is it still the same for the chair to attend the mayor's meeting?
Yes, and then if the chair's not available, then the vice chair would attend.
Okay, so future agenda setting.
Yes, this would be the time if you wanted to request that CLF and
Yes.
and friends and Lori attend the next meeting, then this would be a good time to attend.
That would be great if they can attend. At least they can introduce
Yes.
their organization, so that we can, have the relationship with them. So, I think that's all from me. Anything else?
That's all.
So how is this, like, if you want to bring some part of discussion in the next month, how that goes? Like, should we need to tell right now that, hey, I want to see this, or it should be like, we can add it in, like, send out a message, or how it is?
So you can bring up an idea,
Mhm.
and then you would need to get a second from another commissioner. They would need
Okay.
to second your idea, unless you're the chair. So the chair is the only one who can say, I want to
Right,
put this
right,
on the
okay.
agenda. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go on the next agenda. It's just a list of then items that we would keep.
Okay.
Because we do try to keep the meetings to about an hour long.
2 hours.
Huh?
2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, usually our meetings are about an hour. But we wouldn't have them go more than 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just will depend on what's on the agenda. And if we're able to, things like guest speakers or whatnot, if we're able to work with them
Sure.
on picking a date. So yeah, or if you have other ideas, you're also welcome to email us. You're welcome to talk to your chair about that. We will meet with the chair.
So
Jessica.
talking to chair is okay, that add
Yeah,
all
the
those
two of
things.
you can talk, but
Okay.
you can't talk. I would recommend.
Trying to understand all these things.
Yeah, make sure that you review the Brown Act.
Okay.
So that you're aware of how you can communicate within the commission. But yes,
My daughter has
two of you
an
can have a
event.
conversation,
I
but
need to
three of
pick
you
her
could.
up
Okay.
from
Oh,
an event.
got it.
Right.
I need to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Need to
think
pick up my
our meeting is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great.
yeah.
Eight okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.